Okay, sorry, that was interruption. Now, the length of your ruler, you also study measurement, how to measure something. The length of your ruler that you use to rule line, the length is 300 millimeter. That is 30 cm. So 300 mm is the length. So if this measurement, if you position them like this and you measure here, if the length is also 300, you measure here again, maybe 400. So we are buying 300 by 400. You're going to specify the length 300, the width 400. Then the depth, because you're going to provide three different dimensions. When you go to market, they will ask you for three dimensions. You're going to say this, this, and the depth. So get this. Look at it. This size and this size. Then the depth from here to inside. From here now to inside, the depth. You mentioned that too. Okay. The depth of this panel is not up to half of the ruler. It's less than half of the ruler. It's less than 150 mm. Okay. Let me say 100 the depth, for instance. We have different type of depth depending on what you need. You can also have panel that the depth is up to one ruler, depending on the size you want. Any size at all, we have it in panel. Any depth, we have it. Any width, we have it. Any length, we have it. Your measurement is what they need. So if you measure here, like when I look at this particular panel, the depth is less than 100. Or let me take it to 100. So let me take it 300 by 300. Let me say 400 by, when you look at this now, this is up to 400 by 400 by 100. Let me, for instance. So we're going to buy by measuring the length, the width, and the depth. I hope it's clear. Okay, so when you take that measurement, you use it to buy your whatever. So let's do the placement now. I can put my MCB for control there, then my control MCB here, my overload, my voltage monitor, I'll put it there. Now take a look. I have overload here. I have overload here. You can decide to use this type of overload. This type. Let me just hold on, let me check. Okay, now if you decide to use this type of overload, okay, remember you're going to fit it to this contactor. Let me increase this. If you're using this type of overload, remember you are fitting it this way. I hope you understand. You are fitting it this way. So, and when you are putting this way, if you put there, that means here you measure before you put this trunk in, you measure this length. Make sure you measure this so that by the time you insert this, it will not be longer than your trunk. But because this panel, I didn't build it, it's embedded, it came with this software as a default setting. So it cannot contain this. So what I will do, I will use this type of overload. I'm going to use this type. I don't want to use this. I don't want to use this type because it can't fit in here. Okay, the length will be longer than this place. Unless I will start designing this afresh, and which I don't want to go into. Okay, so let's shorten this.